Hello and welcome to MBA 580. My name is Pat Turner and I will be your instructor for the next 6 weeks. So I always say when I teach this class, and I've taught it several times before, that I hope I learn as much from you as you learn from me. Because most of your learning will come from the forum posts that we will be doing online. The forum posts are very important in an online environment because it takes the place of the on-ground discussion. So I'd like to take a couple of minutes to tell you a little bit about me, and then hopefully I will learn a little bit about who you are through an icebreaker that I will be putting online. So I've been an instructor at Baker for the past 8 to 9 years, thereabouts. Time flies when you're having fun. And I've come from a corporate background of about 30 years. And during that time, my main role was building performing teams. I was in a leadership position, and at the end of the day, my job was to ensure that the organization sustained itself, but not only that, but to grow itself, which is part of the role of an effective and efficient leader. And after doing that for about 30 years, I am now on my second career, and that is the nonprofit world. I am currently the CEO of Truman Habitat for Humanity. And one of the cool things that I'm realizing is it doesn't matter if you are in the corporate world or the nonprofit world, the best practices for running a sustainable organization remain the same. And in this executive leadership course, that is exactly some of the things that we will be learning in class. The Harvard articles are really important, and we will talk a little bit more about how you can have some great takeaways from reading those articles. So going back to my personal life, let's see. On a personal level, I'm married and I have 2 wonderful children, Matthew and Caroline. They are both in college, and like you, I understand the challenges, I hear it through them, of working and going to school. And so one of the things I really want to say is I appreciate the commitment that you're making to advance yourself and to advance your education. Okay, enough of the personal stuff. Let's go ahead and get started on the syllabus. My objective in going through the syllabus with you is so that you can have a clear understanding of the expectations of the assignment and our communication over the next 6 weeks. This is one of the most awesome classes because it really takes you from the startup of where you are with your elementary skills, if you will, with the first class of leadership, and now you're really going into that executive leadership mode. So I want to make sure that you have clear understanding of the expectations of this course. So we will first go through the goals of each assignment and what are the expectations. So hopefully you have your syllabus in front of you. I've given you a little bit of time so you can pull those syllabuses out and have them before you. So let's start from the top. Okay, as far as contact information, you can always contact me via the Baker email. That is patturner@fac.bakeru.edu. Second, you can call me on my cell phone, 816-678-5761. I also respond to text, so feel free to text me. And generally speaking, 8 to 9 o'clock in the evening is when you can call me on my cell phone. I will let you know that I am in meetings quite often, but I do check my email and my voicemail and my text messages throughout the day. So feel free to contact me if you are not sure about an assignment, either individually or for your team. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by going through all of the course objectives because they are there for you to understand. So let's start with assignment number 1. The individual article review that is worth 25 points. So as you could see, class 1 through 6, we have many Harvard Business articles. And as I said in the syllabus, you will have to get a paid subscription to these articles through the Baker Library. You may see that some of these Harvard Business articles are dated, but that was partly intentional because as you read through these articles, you will realize that some things have changed and some things have not changed as far as business practices and leadership capabilities in the corporate world, or in my case, the nonprofit world. Okay, so your review of these articles will be a 2 to 3 page paper, a 5 to 10 slide PowerPoint presentation, or a 5 to 10 minute YouTube style video, sort of like what I'm doing here with you today. And your paper should include the bio of the author, the thesis of the article, 4 to 6 key points from the article, and your main takeaway from the article. Included in that is your overall assessment of the Buckingham's book, First Break All the Rules. And of course, a link to the article. So really what I'm looking for in this assignment is I want to make sure that as you're going through, you are just following step by step, and not just on this assignment, but all of the assignments throughout the course. You're following step by step what the syllabus asks for. If you do that, you will end up with an A. So if you want an A, follow what the syllabus asks for step by step. Students who end up doing a really good job with their assignments often go and look at the syllabus and look at the requirements of the assignment, and then they follow it methodically step by step. So in this case, your very first paragraph should include your thesis, which is always placed in the last sentence of the first paragraph. You should know this by now, but just a friendly reminder. The bio of the author, and then just start highlighting in your paragraphs, your subsequent paragraphs, the main points of the article, and then just expand on that. One of the things that I love in your writing, and all of your writing, is to align those talking points, if you will, with real life examples, because that is how you're connecting the dots and you're showcasing how you are learning. So if the article, for example, talks about motivation, whether it's intrinsic or extrinsic, you may want to refer to some sort of system that your organization is using or not using. And so at this point in the program, you really should be making some very insightful recommendations on if you were the CEO tomorrow, what would you do differently in your organization? That is what I'm looking for throughout the course, okay? Let's move on to the second assignment, which is your individual leadership self-assessment paper. So as you read Marcus Buckingham's First Break All the Rules, and by the way, Marcus Buckingham was the guest speaker at an executive leadership conference for Habitat for Humanity. And I have to tell you, he is hilarious and a really, really smart guy. So I'm really glad that we are using his text as part of this course. So you'll go through, after you complete reading the Buckingham text, on page 28, and you will look at the 12 self-assessment questions. Try to, again, follow the syllabus. So for each of those assessment questions, literally, this is what I want you to do. Start off with your opening paragraph with a few poignant points on self-assessment. State your theses, and in this case, your theses will simply be an assessment of the 12 questions. And then list each question and then your response. So I should be seeing 12 questions and a narrative under each one of those 12 questions. And then conclude your paper with a real powerful conclusion paragraph with an opinion or a recommendation on what your thoughts were on the self-assessment. Okay? That assignment is worth 75 points. Next assignment is your individual ethics social responsibility case study paper. That is worth 100 points. Now this is a very big paper. And this paper, really, what we're trying to get at, again, it's an executive leadership class. Social responsibility is becoming a big deal now in the corporate world. When you think about the Walmarts of the world, the Amazons of the world, the Netflix of the world, the Starbucks of the world, there's a lot of pressure on these organizations, these companies, of what are you doing to give back to the community. So if you, after this amazing MBA certificate, right, you get it and you're the CEO or you're in a senior management position, how are you going to influence your company in their social responsibility efforts in your local community? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it is your community who are your customers. They're supporting your organization. And so there has to be a balance between fiscal responsibility, right? Making sure at the end of the day you can sustain yourself, and social responsibility. And so that is what this paper is addressing here. So here's what we expect you to do with this assignment. You want to describe an ethical or social responsibility or opportunity that your current organization faces. The current adverse impact upon the business, society, and or the physical environment. All right? And so again, with this assignment, I want you to go step by step by step and address each of the components that the assignment calls for. So we've got, first, you have to describe a plan, and then under that plan, you may see that we have all the bullets, right? That's talking about how you're going to address the assignment. And the plan should also finally include a follow-up assessment. So I'll just share with you an example of what another student wrote for this assignment. This student works in the medical field, and so now one of the social dilemma or ethical dilemma, if you will, that they're addressing here is the legalization of medical marijuana. And so that was her topic that she chose to address in this paper. Another example you could think about, maybe a reward and compensation initiative. Some people argue that they're paid to do a good job, employees are, and so sometimes when you institute an incentive program, it could lead to unethical behavior. So maybe that could be something that you might look internally at your organization and see what's going on. I'll give you one final thought, and it could be you have an opportunity to be a green organization. At Habitat for Humanity, part of our green initiative is our Restore. If you're familiar with Habitat and Restore, and maybe some of you have even shopped there, you'll see that that is one of the ways that we have an ethical responsibility of recycling and repurposing, but at the same time, we are generating revenue, so it bleeds over into the fiscal responsibility. So I've given you 3 different examples of how you can look at writing this paper. Okay. A reminder that this is a task stream assignment. And so you may have already done task stream assignments. You have to sign up to get a login to upload your paper outside of Moodle. Again, I would highly, highly encourage you, when you are doing this assignment, go back and look at the rubric, because I have no choice but to grade your assignment based on the rubric. So as I'm reading your paper, I am looking at the rubric and I'm comparing the rubric criteria to what you have written in your paper. Again, if you follow that rubric step by step with the assignment guidelines, you will get an A on your paper. Okay? All right, the next assignment is your individual leadership book review paper. Now, when I teach this class on ground, I've had students say to me, why don't you just provide us a list of leadership books? Well, I can do that, but this is an MBA class, right? I expect you to go out and find a book of your choice, something that you want to learn from. Because if I give you my choices, then what happens? You pick my choices and you don't get to expand your learning opportunities. I'll give you a perfect example of that. When I taught, the last time I taught this class on ground, the students asked me, hey, do you have a list that we can choose from? And I said, I do, but I'm not going to give it to you, because I want you to go out there and find an exciting book that you really want to learn about and expand your horizons. And so one of my students came back and she found this great book that was called The Triple Bottom Line. This was such a great book on sustainability and growth of an organization that even I learned a few things and a few nuggets from it. And at the end of the class, she came back and thanked me for not providing her with that list. And in fact, the book was so great that 3 other students went out and bought that book because they learned so much from her presentation in class. So that is why I would highly encourage you guys to stretch yourself and go find a really good book. And please don't go get one of the books that just we've seen over and over again. Maxwell Good to Great, Who Moved Your Cheese, those kinds of books. Yeah, you can use them. But again, you're MBA students, and I'm expecting you to rise to the top, right? Don't take the easy way out, guys. So this is your classic summary report of a book review. And it follows sort of the same pattern of your article reviews, where you state your theses, do a little bio of the author, your main talking points, add some areas of controversy that this book may appeal to or not. And then again, your assessment of the book. Would you recommend this book? And always, 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 throughout all of your writings, compare and contrast, find opportunities to do that to Marcus Buckingham, First Break All Rules. And this assignment asks for that too. And I will be looking at that in your forum posts and in all of your writings. Okay, individual leadership development plan. This paper is due in class 6. So really, this paper is just a comprehensive paper of all of your learning for the entire 6 weeks. And what I really, really want to see out of this plan is something that then becomes your personal strategic plan of how you can grow, how you can take this MBA, the goals, the dreams, the aspirations that you have for your life, and how you are going to execute it. So it then becomes a strategic plan. You're going to state your objectives, then your goals, your action steps, your metrics, how you're going to implement, and then your timeline. I may send you something as an example of what another student did in class, on the on-ground class, that I really, really liked. Because in essence, what you want this document to be is a living document. So you can take it with you after your MBA or while you are in school and say, okay, it's a reminder of me, what I want to do and where I want to go. So it becomes your own personal strategic plan. And as the years go by, year 1, year 2, you may come back, do some evaluation, some assessment, life may have happened, and so you may want to update your plan. But it's a good document to hold yourself accountable so that you can then execute and implement and realize the goals that you have set for your personal and professional growth. Okay, we've done with the individual assignments, and now we're going to go to team assignments. So the first assignment that we have for your team is the article presentations. We have 2 of those. And these article presentations are based on the theme for the week. Okay, it's not the articles, but the theme for the week. So for example, we see in week 1 and week 2, your theme is challenging the conventional wisdom. And what you're supposed to be doing here with this article is identifying either you can do an internet article, a newspaper, journal, or magazine article that addresses that theme for the week. Okay? And then you'll be doing amongst your team some sort of a YouTube type presentation as if you just were presenting in class. I love when you're doing these presentations to include some sort of a YouTube video, so you have a video embedded in your presentation. I've had students do some research online and do some virtual connect the dots type exercises to showcase what the article is trying to cover. So be as creative as you want in these presentations, these team presentations. I'm looking for your creativity, and I'm also looking for you to engage other students in the classroom. So if we were doing this assignment on ground, students would be doing a handout to where they had a quick puzzle or some sort of a kinesthetic engagement. Try to find ways that you can engage your classroom in a virtual setting. This will maximize your learning opportunities, okay? The next team assignment is in class 2, and that is first break all the rules, your chapter presentation. So we've got team 1, and I sent this out in the news forum earlier in the last couple of weeks. You should have gotten that. Team 1, we have Brooke Allison and Stephanie. Team 2 is Renee, Dylan, and Dana. Team 3 is Crystal, Otis, Kenton, and Jamie, just as a reminder. So Team 1 is covering chapters 2 and 3. Team 2 is covering chapters 4 and 5. And Team 3 is covering chapters 6 and 7. Again, just like your article presentation, try to be creative. Now, understandably so, you're covering the content in those articles. But insert worksheets or anything you can do to really enhance your learning opportunities with your classroom, okay? The next assignment is your course topic presentation. And those presentations will be done over class 3, 4, and 5. So in class 3, the topic for that week is the leadership role. Team 1 will be presenting that topic. This presentation entails at least 10 PowerPoint slides in length, or you can do a YouTube style video of the assigned topic. Again, like many of these other assignments, this presentation will include a summary of the key points, analysis of differing views, compare and contrast the author's perspectives, examples, real life examples, critically important throughout the entire course. Okay, we've got Team 2 doing influence and leading change. That is class 4. Team 3, leadership ethics, class 5. And for class 6, we have no presentations due to the size of the class. And I've already sent that information out to you in Moodle. Your other presentation we have here is Team Ethics and Social Responsibility Case Study, and that is due in class 5. So I really encourage you to read all of the case studies that your other classmates have put online. And it's a very small class. I believe there's about 10 of you. So enrich your learning by reading other students' papers. That is a real important part of your learning opportunities, is reading what other students are putting out there in Moodle so that you can have ideas of what you may want to do with your organization. So please read those other papers that all of you guys are taking your time and investing in writing these awesome papers. And a reminder that these assignments are due by Wednesday night, and then by Sunday night you have your reply post. And I do pay attention to those. So you'll be seeing me interacting with you during the week continuously as you're putting your posts out there. Okay. So we're next to page 8 on the individual assignments. We've got the points. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 assignments there with the points. On your team, you've got 4 assignments with your points, with a total of 500 points. And as you go through your week 1 through week 6, again, it will restate what assignments are due and when, and the points associated with those. Okay, so we're almost done. This has been sort of a long introduction here, but I want to make sure that we have very clear expectations on what is expected for these assignments. So we are now to instructors' expectations. Again, everything is done through Moodle. Almost all of the assignments are due on a Wednesday night by midnight. And all of the posts with the response posts are due by Sunday night. So that is very, very clear. If for some reason life happens and you are not able to get your assignment posted on time, I expect a phone call, okay? This is graduate school. Communication is very important, and that is what is expected in the real world. If you've got a teammate that you've given a project to, and that team or teammate is not able to get that project done to you in time, you expect, as their supervisor, communication that that project is not going to be done on time. So it's the same expectation in the classroom. As an instructor, I expect you to call me and let me know, or email me and let me know that life's happened and you're asking for an extension. And it has to be a really good reason for me to make that exception. Okay? All right, we're almost to the end of the syllabus. You've got your rubric at the very end. And again, that is for your task stream assignment. So be sure to go through it step by step by step on each of those criteria. And if you do that, your paper will be a really good paper. So again, I want to welcome you to MBA 580. This is one of my favorite classes to teach because I am really, really excited for you as you're coming towards the end of your program. And this class will really stretch your executive leadership ability. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in class. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see your posts and enjoy your reading. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.